All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading the Markets. I'm your host, Vays. Coming to you live this Friday evening, New York time. The markets are closed. The traditional markets are anyway. Bitcoin is always. So we're going to go and take a look at the chart. Sorry for being a little bit late. Was on a call. All right, we got the live chat. I think my moderators are already here. Someone already sent me a question from our moderator chat. Cool. Okay. Okay, the def cross thing. Okay, I'll take a look at it. All right, let's go to the charts and then take it from there. I'm going to try to keep this a short-ish show. No politics talk today. Though it is hilarious how Joe Biden is spending millions of dollars shooting down $12 balloons from people. It's insane. They let the Chinese balloon go all the way through America, collecting data and pushing it to China. But some guy's backyard $12 balloon, that got shut down right away, and the cost was over $1 million. Great use of funds. I don't know if there's ever been a more incompetent president in American history, ever. Like 10x more incompetent than any other president. George Bush was not the brightest, light in the shed, but still way better than this. All right. Weekly chart. I will not be at Bitcoin 23 Miami. Well, I might be, but at the moment I'm planning to be in Japan. There's a conference in Japan that invited me to speak, unlike Bitcoin Miami, which never ever invites me to speak. So I'm gonna go where I'm invited to speak if my expenses are covered. So, and I've never been to Japan. So if you look at my calendar. Oh, I should update my calendar. If you look at my calendar, I need to update my calendar. I didn't end up going to Brazil. I really need to update my calendar. What is this? This is March. I won't be in Brazil. Plans changed. Conference changed too. Here, this. And this conference got moved, actually. So this April conference got moved from these dates. It got moved to literally the same time as the Miami conference. And they want me to speak in Japan. And if they cover my expenses to go to Japan, I will go to Japan over Miami. Back to the chart. Weekly chart. We still have 2 more days before the candle closes, but we are sitting right at the def cross. And right at the MRI resistance line. This is the area, you see the red circle. This is the area of resistance. And I don't know if we're going to break this area of resistance or pull back to the $20,000 area. I really don't know. If I had to be forced to guess, I would give it a 55% chance that we're actually going to break out and go up, versus a 45% chance that we're going to get rejected and make new lows. Remember, rejected to make new lows, not just rejected. If we get rejected and we only fall to 22.5, that doesn't count. That still counts as us breaking out, because we need to go lower than the lows that took place below 22,000. We had a swing low of 21.5. I'm going to round. We had a swing low of 21.5 or 21.4 even, and a closing low of 21.8. So both the swing low and the closing low took place under 22,000. And if we fall again below 22,000, I would be 90% confident we're going to go all the way to 20. If we break 22, I don't believe in double bottoms. So if we break 22, I have a 90% confidence level. Once we break 22, we're going to break 21. But if we don't break 22, then we haven't made a new low. Then the pullback was the original pullback, not the second pullback, even though by percentage, the second one could be higher because we're starting from a higher spot. So I will give it a 55% shot. We hit 30,000 before we hit 20,000. So I'm here. And if we do break this to 30, then the pullback should only be down to 24, 25, like that. And then we go up. So it's going to be cluttered with a lot of arrows, right? So I'm going to delete these. But just so you know, I am slightly leaning this way to the upside than this way to the downside, but not enough to take on short-term trades at triple resistance. I'm going to respect the triple resistance till the chart proves to me otherwise. We just started a brand new candle on a 4-day chart, but the weekend is coming. I really thought there was one more day. I really thought there was 25 more hours. I'm a little confused what happened here, because when I saw this chart an hour ago, it told me that there was still 23 hours left, like 24 hours left. And suddenly it's a brand new candle. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on with this 4-day chart. Somehow there might have been a reset. So either way, I'm going to wait till tomorrow to decide if I'm going to add to this bullish position, or I might wait till Monday. But if on Monday we are sitting above 24,000, I will be adding to the bullish position. But this is a long-term position, not a short-term position. That means that if we fall to 20,000, I would. How was that? If we fall to 20,000, it would not scare me to get out. But if we fall below the long-term moving average, then it would scare me to get out. Here's the daily chart. The daily chart looks great. We just had a brand new daily close, which is awesome. Yesterday was the daily swing high, and today is the daily swing close. So I am very happy with this chart. Hourly chart, not very impressive, but it is leaning a little bit bullish. GBTC discount, I expect it to trend towards 0 as the price of Bitcoin rises. Oil is going to hit an MRI buy next month. I'm very looking forward to that, and I do think it will reverse the fate of oil. Natural gas is looking great on a larger time scale. We have an MRI weekly buy and extension C on natural gas, and on a not where I was going, and on a monthly scale. Oh, on a monthly scale, it doesn't look very good, but on a weekly scale, it looks good. Would I rush into natural gas right now? I don't like this candle. I would wait one more candle, but the moment I see bullishness, natural gas has fallen since the MRI top, and natural gas has fallen in price 76%. That is interesting to me, right? Natural gas is sitting at the same price it was in 2020 when people were afraid to turn on the stove because they were afraid to touch the stove, because if they touched anything, they would catch COVID. So, oh wow, look at that. Back in the day, I must have called this divergence. Nice. All the metrics are bottoming. This is great. Look at the last time the natural gas on a weekly scale hit these levels of RSI lows. This could be a very good bottom here. I would wait for the smallest glimmer of strength, and natural gas could be a very good buying opportunity. We've gone past where a correction is. I mean, I don't believe for a second that natural gas is going to fall below its lows of 2020. like this would be, it hit these lows, $1.50. It hit $1.50 in March 2016, and then May 2020, and it hasn't been this low since 1999. So the MRI is doing well. It's been calling every single top. It's been decent on the bottoms too. Like here's an MRI buy right here, great dollars, and eventually went all the way to 8, more than double, went to 9. MRI top right at the top here at over $9. Decent MRI buy here, got you into a bullish trade. I would respect this MRI buy, but I hate this candle. But there could be strength starting next week. So I would be looking at natural gas very carefully right now. Very, very carefully for a buying opportunity. The stock market, I like these little pullbacks. I think the stock market is going to rally higher off of these lows, and nice moving average crossovers coming. The last time, see, look at the down cross, and the price rallied into the left cross. It started falling a few weeks early, and now we're having a similar situation. We're pulling down into the golden cross, though it is the 20 and the 50 moving average. At least it should be. Let me see. Short term, intermediate. Yeah, it's 20 and the 50. And the Arun's going to cross over in a week or two if we go higher. We do need a new swing high to get these things crossed over, and I think we'll get it. Correlation. Well, Bitcoin isn't all that correlated right now. Bitcoin is leading nicely. I still think the stock market will break the samurai resistance line next week or the week after, creating a huge bullish move to the upside. And NASDAQ will follow suit. I don't even know why. Russian ruble, we talked a lot about this last time, so no reason to talk about it today. Oh, change in perception. Okay. I'll probably just need the percent change. Anyway. All right, let me look at what my moderator sent me from your questions. Tone, I've been wondering about pulling into the def cross on the weekly. When looking today at the charts, I happened to look at the monthly, and the two traded above the one breaking the 50 period. I'm a little confused on that question. I can go and look at the monthly. If it loads. I don't have moving averages up. I have to check what they're. I'm using 7, 20, and 50. They're not very useful right here. So I can change it to 20, 50, 200. There is no 200. Because we hasn't traded 200 months yet. So that's why there is a 7, 20, 50. I can do 100 maybe. It's not useful at all. Never touched anything. Yeah, that's why I have a 7. Maybe we can make it a 9. Yeah, I don't see much on a monthly here. Oh, interesting. Look at this chart. If I draw the same exact trend line, then we break it. I gotta turn this off. Very interesting. Tone-based rules of trend lines touch the maximum number of candles without breaking any of their bodies. And we are sitting right at, no, I want to touch this candle. I want to do this. See, this is not breaking the body because it's going through the center. It's going through the opening of that candle. So we're not actually breaking that candle, but I want to touch this candle. So I want to touch the top of that candle. I want to touch the top of last month's candle. Yeah, this is my best line. This is my best line. And we're breaking this trend line now. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So what happens now? Well, now look at the past. In the past, we had a supporting trend that the price eventually went and reached the top of. The supporting trend that broke to the downside. Let's see if that happened again. Let's find the original supporting trend of the bull market. Same rules. You know what? I'm going to use the same green. This is cool. We should tweet. Financial Summit handle should tweet this out. Shorten this a bit. Now, when did the bull market start is the question, right? But if I can make this work like that, that was the bull market. I think that's good. I am breaking my rule very slightly right here, but I think it's okay because I want to touch these candles. This is my best fit line. I can make it thicker. That's another one of Tone-Vays's rules. Make your trend lines as thick as possible without, someone pointing a finger at them and laughing how thick they are. And then it's fine. I'll drop it a bit. It's a little extreme. And now we extend this. And if history repeats itself, the next bull market will be somewhere on this trend. But each of these trends is less and less steep. So if we get to the trend right away, the top is only going to be 80,000. But if we take our sweet ass time and we make it into the summer of 24, the top is going to be 200,000. If we keep going up into 2025, the top can be $200,000. Let's see how we do. Let's see where on this trend line we will pop. Like, I really thought we could hit it again, but we clearly did not. We only hit this line once. But back in the day, like, we didn't hit this one. The first one came up short. What the hell is this line? That doesn't belong there. Oh, maybe it has something to do with the Heikinashis. See, in this version, it also looks the same. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. Look how good this trend line is holding. Oh, what a perfect trend line. So there you go. that's gonna be a potential next stop. I want to see it over 100K, but when it hits this line, get ready because you're only gonna hit it once. And it's interesting how we always break this line to the downside. We broke this line back in 2017, the green bullish uptrend line. Oh, it's not as clean over here. This one is not as clean. It's not as clean on the Heikin-Ashi version. I can make it clean. We're still touching. We're still. That's okay. It's clean in this, but I think it's pretty good. It's very clean here. Oh, look at that. We did hit it twice. We hit it here and here. We hit it early. We hit the underside early, and then we hit it late. But then we had a monster pullback. That would be awesome, right? Can you imagine? Can you imagine if we hit it early and then follow suit? Like if we repeat, let me do a copy. I just went down this rabbit hole. Now I'm kind of addicted. Hold on. So if I copy from the start up to the top right here. Oh, why is it going all the way there? Okay, right? So if we go from here and we touch it once, like that, right? Yeah. And then we have another catastrophe that doesn't take us down as low as 6, maybe takes us down as low as 21, sometime like right during the halving. I don't know, somebody panics or something goes offline or there's a code malfunction, who the hell knows, right? And it's just like there's a massive panic. And then boom, it goes back up and touches it the second time. That'd be sweet. Let's see if this happens. I think this is an anomaly. So what I would do is, here's how I would do it. I would delete this, right? So what I would do is I would take a copy from the low to the one candle before the crash. Like this. Oh, wow. So if you don't use that candle, it doesn't scale as well. So like this, right? And then I would copy after the crash, this candle to the high. Like that. Or, something like this. There you go. That'd be cool. So then this top is coming in at 200, and this top is coming in at 60. That looks reasonable. Let's see if it follows suit. I'm going to leave that here for now. Let's see how this works out. All right, back to your questions. Tequila spreadsheet. It's so close to final. I stopped working on it. Guys, give me till the end of the month. I just want to put in my final thoughts and spell check and shit, and then I'll make it public. Sand snake. Everyone wants to short it on this massive resistance. I wouldn't do it. That I have a feeling it will just break through. I agree with you. What is Matic? Is Matic that shitcoin we looked at yesterday and I said it looked bullish? Don't tell me it crashed like 50% in one day. Oh, there it is. Wow. Shit. Went up a lot. I called this, didn't I? Didn't I say this was bullish? I'm not proud of it. Super bullish. Like if this wasn't a shit coin, I would probably be investing in this. Super bullish. I don't even know what Matic does. It's just a super bullish chart. But be careful. It has a monthly MRI top coming. A weekly MRI buy, right? Look at that. Perfect weekly MRI sell. Perfect weekly MRI buy. Amazing trade. You sell here. It goes down 20%. You buy on this candle. It goes up, God knows how much already. It goes up 40%. And on a monthly scale, it has a warning candle, but we still have 2 weeks this month and then 4 weeks next month. So we can hit an MRI top on a weekly scale somewhere up there, along with a monthly MRI top. So that could be like the sell, but this just looks super bullish. Like this is a cup and handle or head and shoulders, however you swing it, right? So like whatever this shit is, whatever this shit coin is, it's got a chance to go up 67%. Like this is its potential target right now. I don't know when I'm doing a show again with Jimmy Song. Like we just we're still friends. We never had a fight. We never had a falling out. I don't know. I just don't want to be the producer and the anchor. Okay, guys, back in the day when we used to have daily shows, I had an amazing co-host named Leah Wald. Leah Wald was both the producer and the host. When Leah left to do her own businesses, I was left with no host, no producer. We did the show again with Christine Lee, who was the host, but I was the producer. And it's hard. And then after Christine left for CoinDesk, I and the host, and it's a lot of work. If I can find a producer and host like Leah Wald used to do, would probably do the show again. But Bitcoin got boring, and we're just repeating ourselves over and over and over. Like everything we said about stablecoins 7 years ago is still the same. Go watch my shows from 7 years ago. You can apply them to today. Nothing has changed. Okay, next. Let's get this ridiculous thing off the screen. How's Tesla doing? Beautiful. Looks bullish. All right, next. Could you elaborate how we can figure out exactly how much Bitcoin we need right now to not have to work in the midterm future, 5+ years? Is there a formula or some way to calculate that? There isn't, but this is my projection right now. I don't see why Bitcoin can't do this. It's done this every single time. It's done this every single time except for the first time, but that would have been a little too much to ask for. Bitcoin hitting 2000 in 2013 would have been it's a little bit of a steep of a line, but these lines are getting less steep. Now, if this line happened to be more steep than the last line, I would be hesitant. But because this line is not as steep as the last line, I think this is a reasonable, realistic projection. And this projection is only 2 years old, 2 years from now, March 2025. So 2 years away. And I think this is reasonable. To me, this is reasonable. So how many Bitcoin do you need if each Bitcoin is 200,000? Is up to you. You know, if you live in Thailand, 3 Bitcoins probably enough. If you live in Dubai, 30 Bitcoin might not be. It really depends on your living situation. Do you have 1 kid or 6 or 7 kids, like some of our Bitcoin friends? If you have 6 kids and you live in an expensive country, you may need 100 Bitcoin to never work again. I'm still working. So you can guess how many I have. Not as many as you think. Yeah, guys, what you have to realize is, I know people like myself have been in Bitcoin feels like forever, but you have to think about it realistically. And realistically, right? I'm not going to talk about specifics of when I got in, when I bought my first Satoshi, but I started becoming public in 2014, right? So let's assume, let's just pick round numbers, right? Let's assume, I'm not gonna give anything away, right? Let's assume I managed to buy a Bitcoin for $100, right? Right here. Let's assume I got in the summer of 2013, right? $100 a Bitcoin. Now, I had a good job. I had a Wall Street job where I was making over $100,000 a year. Even over 150, $100,000 a year. And but remember, I was working in New York City. So 50% of that went to taxes. 40% federal, 12% state, 4% city. That's 50%. Okay. Plus, I was putting money away into a 401k. So out of the 150,000 that I was making, I was taking home $75,000. I also lived in New York City, which is not cheap. I had a mortgage to pay. I was paying for my own food. I was single, so I was going out, taking girls out. So life wasn't cheap. So think about it, right? If say, oh, Tone has thousands of Bitcoin, right? So let's assume, even if I did get in at $100 a Bitcoin, if I buy 1,000 Bitcoin at $100 a Bitcoin, that's $100,000. Do you really think I had $100,000 laying around in 2013? And by the way, at this time, I was buying a shit ton of gold and silver. So most of my money was going to that, like gold and silver. I have lots of silver. I have like, I don't know, probably over 1,000 ounces of silver, maybe even 2,000 ounces of silver. I have no idea. It's a lot. It's a lot. And gold coins. So in order to buy 1,000 Bitcoin, you had to have $100,000 and be so confident in Bitcoin to spend $100,000. That's a year's salary, a lot more than a year's salary, right? Take home after taxes. So clearly, Tone is not going to have 1,000 Bitcoin. That's impossible, right? What about 100, right? Well, even 100 Bitcoin at $100 would still cost $10,000. Now, how confident do you think people were in 2013? And again, assuming you had $10,000 just laying around collecting dust, do you really think it would be that confident in it? Like, I'm confident in Bitcoin now, but what about then? And that's assuming I even got $100, right? Like, I'm not gonna. I mean, maybe it's too embarrassing, so I'm not gonna tell you that. But whatever you think I have, it's probably less than that. Very likely less than that. Okay. Because, like I said, I was spending all the money I was saving. I was afraid that the dollar was going to collapse. Not the dollar was going to collapse, but the system was going to collapse. And I was buying gold and silver, and more silver than gold, which is kind of stupid, right? Be like $20 here, $20 there. So that's where my extra money was going. And I'm very risk averse. Like, I wanted to have, money saved. So, and then when I quit my job, I was trading. So I needed fiat money in a trading account to trade with and make money. So just because people were around Bitcoin in 2013, and I wasn't even around until 2014, right? So that's when I came around to Bitcoin, 2014. And the cheapest price at 2014 was right here. So I wrote my first article for Cointelegraph around here in 2014, when Bitcoin was already $500, right? So assuming that's when Tone Vays first got into Bitcoin, 2014. I was lowballing there. I was trying to make myself feel good, right? At $500, right? 100 Bitcoin at $500 is still 50 grand. You needed to have 50 grand laying around to go and buy 100 Bitcoin. So, like I said, just because someone's been in Bitcoin for 10 years doesn't mean they have a lot of Bitcoin. You'd be surprised how many people are around longer than me and they need a job right now in order to, pay bills. So when people are OG Bitcoins, you're about to have a lot of people that are in Bitcoin for a decade now. And trust me, most of these people do not have 100 Bitcoin. Right? I don't want to say how much I have again because it's going to be laughable for some. Like, oh my God, I can't believe Tone has so little Bitcoin. And it could be like a lot for others. Like, oh my God, wow, you're super rich. Like it depends on where people live and what's rich. $100,000 is rich to a lot of people, and $100,000 is laughable to other people when they see that you've been in Bitcoin for a decade. So it's all relative. It's really relative. Yeah, exactly. Look at Andreas. I mean, Andreas did get 100 Bitcoin in donations when people found out that Andreas has been in Bitcoin since like 2012, 2011, and he barely had any Bitcoin. But yeah, so at 500 bucks, how much can you buy? Again, 100 Bitcoin, 50 grand. You have 50 grand. Like I'm way more confident in Bitcoin today than I was in 2014. Right? Would you be able to invest 50 grand in Bitcoin right now? Not easy. Right? For most people, not easy. And 50 grand bought you a lot more back then. Right? 50 grand back then is like, sorry, 40 grand back then is like 50 grand now. But it also bought you more Bitcoin, obviously. See, people that got into Bitcoin over here at the bottom of 2015 did a lot better than me. Like I know people that got in like over like a year or so after me, but they got in over here, and they did a lot. How many Bitcoin they have? Way better. Way. Because over here I actually had to sell in order to support a physical business, and I had no job, so I had to support myself. So I kept all my money in my trading account, trading and making money, but I was using my savings to pay the bills. Right, 20K in Bitcoin in 2015. If you did it, well, at any time in 2015, the first half of 2015, if you threw 20 grand in, the average price was 250 bucks. So 20 grand got you like 100 Bitcoin. It got you like 80 Bitcoin. So that's good. Better than Tone. Better than what Tone did. But I'm not complaining. I'm like people say, hey Tone, if you go like if you go back, what would you do differently? And my question was, well, I'm happy where I am today. So if I would have done something differently, who knows how my life would have turned out, right? If I would have got into Bitcoin early, all I know I could have lost it all at Mt. Gox. So and then been so angry I never got back in. So like praying that you got into Bitcoin at $10 could have meant you lost it all at 1,300 and then were too angry or was too broke to get back in. Also very possible. You're better off getting in at 800 after the Mt. Gox collapse than getting in at 80 but buying it through Mt. Gox and holding it there. Yeah, I look at the GBTC all the time, the relationship to the price chart is. All right, guys, I gotta get going. I'm gonna finish up your questions real quick. If the US defaults on its debt, I think the stock market would rise a lot. I think people would lose all that money they've invested in government bonds, but the stock market would do just fine. I would be very bullish this time. It's kind of like, Tone, what would happen to Bitcoin if Tether collapsed? Well, Bitcoin would rise because people would exit the stable coins as they're probably doing right now and entering Bitcoin. So same thing. If the US government defaults on its debt, stocks would rise. Tone, what do you think of Glassnode's 8 unchained metrics? They've been signaled for a bottom. We should have Willie or Crypto Quant on soon. You know what? I'm going to Miami. I'll reach out to Crypto Quant, see if they want to come back on. I'll hit up Willie as well. Willie's been hard to get on streams. The funding rate's still looking shitty. But the Bitcoin hasn't really gone up all that much. Hey, Brian. Thanks for being the moderator. All right, guys. On that note, I'm going to sign off. I will see you all on the next one. Bye, guys.